Brother Juan, we are back. What do we have
What,
today? What is
what's
this?
up? What's the word? What is?
What
Oh
is
my God! Oh
this?
yeah!
You
Oh, I
sent this.
think
What
that
is
is
it? What is it?
this. That is the Fuente Perfección 2016.
Okay.
This is off of the Unnamed Reserve series, so it's equivalent to Opus. It's very, very rare. It's of the same vein in the sense of the tobaccos they choose. Aged tobacco. I think this is 5-year aged. The reason why this made it into our repertoire, this was gifted. These two, the one you're smoking and the one I have in my hand, were gifted to me by one of the industry's most loved and cherished members, uh, Sergio Montaño. He gave this to me maybe about 5 years ago. He passed away about 2 years after giving it to me,
God
and
bless him.
I've been holding on to them for like a special thing. Uh, anytime we link up is a special thing. So um, I figure this would be a good way to kind of you know preserve his memory and still kind of go with what we're going with, which is rare, poignant, legendary, and again, cigars that are going to pique our curiosity. So I'm curious to see how this smoke.
Before we even get into the cigar, tell me why he was
Tell
so
me
special to the
why.
industry.
Nothing but what happened?
Tell
Sorry,
me why he was so special to the industry
man.
as we cut
Sergio. So
and
Sergio was the president of Phillips and King, which is one of the biggest distributors of cigars in the country. But he was way more than that, bro. This guy was, a veteran in the game for a long time, knew everyone, was very honest, was very sweet, was very kind, was very thoughtful, was very warm. He was a guy's guy, knew sports, he knew life, well traveled, fun to be around, marathoner. Like would go to these, to these trade shows. This guy would just, you know, the networking that Sergio did or was a part of is absolutely incredible. Um, so he's another one of those figures for me that have been a mentor that I've been lucky enough to work around and love to work for, and to work beside on a lot of different projects. So um, he's definitely one of those people that I think about every day. I uphold a high standard to how I do things at work because of who he was and still is, because he still lives on in our everyday lives, um, from a memory. And yeah, man, sometimes people aren't there in the physical, but their personalities, their contribution. Um, he was so generous. He was charitable. He always thought about everyone. He's just one of those guys, man. Like, these are the guys that I look up to in the game. And I was really, really fortunate enough. And honestly, if it weren't for Sergio, I wouldn't have the job that I have at Phillips King. He was the one that really, told me to just spur the moment, come in, interview. Shout out to her, Clouty set everything up. But Sergio was the one that just kind of carried the torch and saw like, okay, you actually have some value here. So let's let's get you. Let's acquire you as a player. Let's say, right. But there's also like let's retain you, because I could have easily gotten swept away in a lot of the company politics and such. So yeah, man, definitely was just one of those figures that means a lot to me to this day and will mean a lot to me. I know Jet's gonna learn about him. And anytime that I get to salute, anybody, whether in the clouds or on the ground, I'm gonna do that. So this is definitely one of those, and I had to share it with my dog. I mean, I had to share it with my dog, and that's what Sergio would have wanted.
salute
Cheers,
Sergio. Cheers.
cheers. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what makes this cigar so special?
So the idea here is that anytime, there's a lot of variations to Fuentes, Opus X, Añejos, um, uh, sorry, drawing a blank here. Um, you have things like the Man, you have uh, Don Carlos lines. There's a lot of different lines that have these uh, tier groups, if you will, in his catalog. And anytime something is adjacent to Opus X, it's going to have rare tobacco, it's going to have aged tobacco, and it's going to be a blend that, even though in its subtlety might feel like another cigar you've had, it's going to have elements of something you never had before. And that's kind of how I would describe these. Again, we're going into the smoke, so I'm going into this not knowing what this smokes like. But this is probably one of the first situations where I would say I'm not versed. I'm versed on a lot of the unnamed reserves. I've had a lot of the unnamed reserves, but this is not one.
My love for Arturo Fuente runs deep because this was how I was introduced to cigars officially, where I actually began my journey. Where back in 2008 approximately, me and my man Steve, we was working for a travel marketing company, and we ended up on assignment in Ybor. We ended up at Arturo Fuente.
Right.
And who were we there to see? Arturo Fuente Jr. who I didn't know at the time. Right. I didn't know what was happening. I just knew that this gentleman was very hospitable and very giving. So like the whole crew, he was like, does anybody want to smoke? And I was like, yeah, I would like a smoke. And I just wanted one because the way he was smoking it, and he had him like on one of those like Cuban shirts or what have you. And he had a few cigars right here, and he was just like handing them out like he just had a kid or something. And I remember and I remember I was just like,
it's some more.
Cool. So I just took the cigar, we did the interview, we took some pictures because he was man cool, but I didn't know to the extent of who I was talking to, because again, this was my first time really. Now I'd had cigars before, but learning the history of it and listening to him, because the whole video was about the history of cigars, in Tampa and like all the factories that were there, just all that heritage. But having that interview with him, and then for him to like give us a cigar, at first I was like, okay, cool, I got a cigar. So I'm joking around with it, with Steve, like after the shoot, I'm like, yo, take a picture with me. Like I'm just like doing the 2008 Instagram thing where I'm just like, yo, take a picture, like just front with the cigar.
Yeah,
never meaning to smoke it.
Black Planet.
And then I got like back to the hotel. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke it. So started smoking a cigar, and I was like, that's how for me, my poker face or my tell is like, if it's a good cigar, I keep looking at it like,
yeah, right.
Like, yo, what is this?
That is your tell. Yeah, you start. Amon definitely looking at the cigar.
Like if somebody had took it out of my hand or something, So
right.
I started smoking, and I was like, damn, this is good. So I enjoyed the experience of smoking a cigar. I knew not to inhale. Again, I'd had cigars before, but not premium hand rolled cigars with intention to like experience it, So like I had like a Davidoff before, and I had like a Black and Mild, or just I had cigars, you know what I'm saying? That whatever. So after that, I was like, I would like another one. And so then I went to the local cigar shop around my way, and then I got really lost in short stories.
Yep.
Hemingways, but short stories for real.
Yeah, short story,
I love the Hemingway because of,
No, it's the same line. It's all the same line. The short story is a size.
Okay, gotcha. So that I'm still a student. I had no idea that was the same blend, the same line. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like the short story is the dog walker version of the Hemingway
work of art, bestseller, short story.
Yes. So I genuinely enjoyed the short story because it was about as much tobacco as what I wanted, or the experience that I wanted, which was like a 30-minute smoke, so just walk around, or a dog walker.
Right.
And I genuinely enjoyed it. And then from there, I started going into other brands and stuff. But like
Can
I
we
had no
freeze for
idea.
a second? Can we freeze
Okay,
for a
go.
second?
Go,
Here's
go,
my
go.
freeze. This is the reason why I have to freeze it. The reason why I have to freeze it is because you nonchalantly are talking about interviewing Carlito Fuente Jr. in 2008, as the young kids would say. Bro, you know how crazy that is? That's rare. Like the footage that you have, the images that you have of Fuente are rare. Are rare. I'm telling you right now. You know this already because we've had prior discussions, but I'm saying this so that you understand. It's rare, bro, because there's a trajectory that he went on post 2010 that it's a crazy skyrocket. And even physically, he looks different now than he did back then. His whole entire look is different. His entire aura is different, right? You got to meet the genesis. You got to meet the right before the rocket took off. Not that it wasn't already a fucking rocket that was up there. It was in the atmosphere. But this shit is in a different. This is like fucking Blog on 6 near the fucking black hole at this point. Fuente's
Wow.
out of here. They're doing shit that's unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see DJ Khaled's feed, bro. This guy is different. This is different, right? This is a different atmosphere. So, of depth in space, they're by themselves in this entire thing. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna put it to you like this. It's almost like you were with the person who created Tiffany's, right? Tiffany's on Fifth. You were with that person, right? And that person has gone through and done a bunch of stuff. And Tiffany's itself has done a bunch of things, right? And now you fast forward now, and it's Tiffany's. You got
As we know it.
basketballs, you
Yeah.
got all types of stuff, right? But the idea of that name and the prestige is still top tier. That's what I'm saying to you, sir. Is that you saw he already had Opus X. It was already popping over there. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it wasn't, but you definitely saw, you know what I'm saying? You saw Kevin Hart right after Soul Plane type shit, right? Right before. Matter of fact, you got state property. You got state property.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? If I could make that
Yeah.
analogy.
And the
It's
crazy
amazing,
thing
bro.
is, like, he was mad cool. He gave me a
Here.
DVD of the story that I have it somewhere. Like, there was this DVD that they used to give out or sell or what have you, and it took you like into the crops and it told you the process, and it was insane. But
When
he
was the
was
last
mad
time you
cool.
checked that out?
I gotta find it. I mean, that was like 2008,
Worth-
so that's over 20 years ago.
If you can find that, that is going to be worth a revisit, my friend. Because everything that you've learned to this point is going to lead back to these things, right? Like, you're going to be able to just kind of snap, okay. You know what I'm saying? Those moments are what we live. That's why the journey is so fire. No pun intended. But that's why the journey is cool, because, no pun intended. It's because of that, right? The experiences notch these things that happen in our lives. And sometimes cigars just play these 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how much you move, there's going to be 6 movies removed from Kevin Bacon. That's kind of how, especially with Fuente, forget about it. Cuban, non-Cuban, it definitely is transcendent.
And I remember, like, on the DVD, there was a story about how they were innovating in the wrapper. And they were talking about how they were having the hardest time of growing wrappers in Dominican Republic. And it was a first. Like, I was taking it in. And my father always told me, like, there's no such thing as a coincidence. So, like, that meeting, and then fast forward to, like, just exploring on my own, and then meeting you, and you making it this, like, really inclusive experience, to the fact that, like, you didn't make me feel like I shouldn't be in the clubhouse. What's happening?
I'm just showing you the ash as you speak.
Beautiful ash. So, like, the journey continues even up into this very moment where, like, I find myself again in a situation where I'm smoking yet a rare cigar that was gifted, and then gifted to you, and then the gift was shared with the kid. Come on.
The ancestors are smiling on us, my boy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. We're lucky to be here, right? It's a draw of luck to be born, right? Am I correct in that? Right? You're in a race with
1,000%.
fucking millions and billions of these tadpoles, right? You make it out, You survive where we survive from, right? And again, I look back, I talk to my boys in the group chat every fucking day. We talk about who's here, who's not, who's in jail, who's free. Those are the conversations. And then everything else is sports and life and shit, right? But that's really, you know what I'm saying? We're lucky, bro, to be able to exchange these things, these gifts of life. I don't take it for granted, but I feel that there is um there is something about the vein of the cigar, the person, the human, whether man or woman or whatever you identify as. There is a connection here, right? Besides the connection we already have and how much it strengthens when we do have these interactions. It's fucking it reverts back to just we're enjoying our time as well, you know what I'm saying? And we're doing
Absolutely.
it in a very curious manner, right? What's better than smoking a cigar out of curiosity?
Yeah. And the crazy
Out
thing is
love.
like that curiosity has taken me to so many brands and boutique brands. And so when I find myself back to that, it's like every time I have a Toro Fuente cigar, it's full circle for me every time because I'm going back to a blend that is so familiar to me. And then because of all the places I've gone with the other smokes, I can kind of like compare notes to where I started.
Honestly, that's why it's been fun to watch you go through the journey as a spectator and as a as a colleague or a contemporary, right? I feel like on this journey, you're still going through stuff that I don't see, you know what I'm saying, that you don't tell me about because I know that, there's only so many words in our conversations and we go, our conversations do go for a long period of time.
Right.
Um, there's a lot that I consider always when I speak to you in intelligence, in knowing that I don't have to dumb anything down. The best part about this whole process is watching you elevate to the point where I don't have to baby you through this. Even with the stuff that you don't know, it's stuff that fucking many people don't know, and I just happen to
Right.
be a
Right.
geek
Right.
about. So no
Yeah.
credit to myself,
Yeah.
it's just more so about that. But
Yeah.
you the things that you're catching it in all the ways, right? You're catching the vocabulary, you're catching you know what I'm saying? You're catching everything. So for me, it's that. But it's because of those coincidental connections as well, right? Like the fact that you did meet Fuente, the fact that you innocently met Fuente, right?
Right.
Like at a time where people would have killed, bro. Like in the media space, there were fewer publications back then, right? There were no blogs back then, right? So there were a lot of writers, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Gary Arts. Rest in peace, Frank Seltzer. Like I used to follow these guys' editorials around. You know what I'm saying? They used to write for different magazines and shit, Cigar Journal and, European Cigar this. And there's always, again, as a geek, before all the YouTube and shit, you know, there's an aspect of there is a world where people were writing about this once upon a time. There is a world where the same love that we feel was translated. I had to find that. On your journey, you tapped into that vein. I think that shit is fucking phenomenal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that we became friends and we like family because that's just the nature of our upbringing and our like
Yeah.
for life and shit like that. Like we just have commonalities. We're just like unspoken shit, right? But from a cigar standpoint, you've seen things that I haven't seen. You
Mm.
dig what I'm saying? Because I wasn't in the game in 2008. I wasn't
Oh,
smoking cigar. I was,
for real?
I was smoking, I was smoking cigars in 2008, but it wasn't like I wasn't. Yeah, I was smoking 2008 for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but it wasn't like I knew what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
for me to run into Fuente 2008, no, come on. I'm at Guillermo in 2010. You know what I'm saying? Like that I just want to make that so that it's noted in your story where it it has been chance meeting opportunity, but it's more so about the fact that you've done some fucking fly shit in your life, my boy.
Oh, thank you. But the thing is like that. I often look at things where like a seed is planted and it takes a village to make it bear fruit.
Of
Some people
course.
water it, some people add sunshine. So like that started the journey. And for years, like I would say, around the time that we met, which is around like 2014. So from 2008 to 2014, I was moving about cigars like alphabet soup. So I was
Yeah, yeah.
buying them, I was enjoying them,
Right.
but I had it was just more of a thing that I did. And then when you and I began to have conversations, I remember I remember the cigar you gave me. I had a book release and you gave me a cigar and I was like, thank you, because you knew we met at the shop,
Yeah.
so when you gave me that cigar, I was like, wow, I just met you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
So I
I
was
feel you.
not expecting. I was even happy that you even showed up. You and Ice showed up to the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, shout out to Ice.
Shout out to Ice. So the fact that like y'all came through and showed love, and then when you left me with that, because like I said, I've said several times, I have specific celebratory cigars that I go to. And so getting that cigar from you as a gift, when all the dust settled and the event was over, at the time I was living in Weehawken and I lived one block from Boulevard East. So I could just smoke my cigars and look at the view, the New York City skyline and the street dream. And I would do that over a cigar. I would just walk and. So when you gave me that cigar, trust and believe I was walking like this, puffing, just kept looking at it like, what the fuck is this? Like, so I was like, damn, this is next level beyond what I'm normally smoking. And I wasn't smoking cheapies, like I was smoking, the names we know,
I
but
get it.
but I came back to you and I was like, yo, do you have any more of those cigars? And you were like, yes and no. I said, what does that mean? He was like, yeah, we sell it. You said, but the one that I gave you, I aged. And I was like, you aged it? You was like, yeah, I aged it for 35 years. I was like, 35 years?
Yeah, every fucking time, you
I
know?
remember the gift. I was like, damn, this guy, I didn't even know what aging meant. I was like, damn, 35
Uh,
years. Now, what was the real number?
it was uh it was 4 years.
4 years. So the fact that you aged a cigar for 4 years, it blew my mind. And I was like, and he gave me the cigar. And I was talking to my girl at the time and she was like, so? Like, she just couldn't understand the capacity of what just happened. And I was like, now you don't understand. So at that point, that began to like trigger, like, wait, so like, you can
You
you
can
can
do this.
modify the
Right.
notes of a cigar, you can mature, you can do. So now
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, but why? And then,
Right.
talking to you briefly through at the shop, the next thing I know, we ended up doing, I'll save that story for another time, Sunday Cigar. And that shit was Cigar University. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like to get to this point now and the memory that I have, like, I forget a lot of stuff.
Memories.
Don't do like people do. So like they
Don't
all
do
remember
like
you.
people do.
So this journey is really cool to me because a lot
Not
of
yet.
times my memory is so
I'm
bad,
being serious.
I forget the things that I've done. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
that was dope. Oh, I'm like
Yeah.
revisiting. Sometimes I'll watch old episodes of comedies, like I watching them for the first time. I'm like, this shit is hilarious. And then it's
Yes.
like, you already saw this, but I didn't remember any of the jokes. So I
That is
fucking
right.
started laughing again. So
That is correct.
reliving these cigars, but sometimes you may forget, but your palate remembers. And I'm taking
100%,
back
bro.
to fucking Ebor.
100%, bro. And that's why like originals and covers are really important, right? Like an original song is gonna give you uh a unique perspective, right? And a cover song is gonna give you some of the elements of what you feel, but it's gonna hit different chords of how you feel about it. It's gonna it's gonna be a little separate from that initial feeling. And I feel that's important with cigars too. You can have an Opus X experience, and then you can have Don Carlos experience, and you can have a Hemingway experience, and they're all in the same vein, right? But there's always going to be more to what the aging, the uniqueness, you know, things I've mentioned so far. And look at that. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, bro. What are we talking about here? It's fucking Fuente, bro. Stop playing with that man, bro. Stop playing with that man, bro. That Fuente and his operation is not to be F with, bro. This is serious, serious business. All right? And this isn't Joe Schmo. This is serious business, right? That's what I look at it as. When I look at these things, they give me reaffirmation, reconfirmation, right? That things can taste good, that excellence exists. What do you think? Well, I mean, I'm talking shit. What do you think? There's not crazy changes here. This is a straight up, smooth, round experience. What I'm getting.
But
what do you feel?
It's peppered down the center, but lightly. It's lightly peppered down the center, like right down the center. I'm getting that peppery note, but it's not aggressive at all. It's just the right amount.
Right.
It's the right amount. So I don't, you know, like cigar we had earlier today, it was excellent. It was aggressive. It was all the things. But like this is like the dials turned down in a different genre of music, you know.
Well said, well said. Well said. Well said, my man. Well said. I like that. I like that. Well said. Yes. And it is subtle, right? Like you're feeling the pepper. There is a flow of brightness for sure, but I feel like there's a lot of subtlety around that. There's a lot of
it's floral aromas as well. Like it's to sit in the smoke itself is part of the experience.
That blue smoke too, boy. Should have blue, huh? What color you smoke, huh? Color.
See, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Like,
can I see it?
I haven't gotten to the level to understand, to even have the eyes to see blue smoke.
It's not.
I don't know if I've ever seen blue smoke.
Come on, bro. It's, you know, it's one of those things we say, but it's really like there is a difference between.
Am I overthinking it, or am I taking it too literal?
No, there is. There's definitely a hue of blue. I'm a little colorblind. I have it on the light though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm able to see a little bit more. But there's definitely a blue hue coming out of it. It's folklore more than anything else. But I will say this: with the well-aged cigar, you will see more blue smoke than white smoke. A white smoke you're gonna see is gonna be. You usually see white smoke with more short filler. You see it more with mixed filler. But with long filler, you're gonna see more blue. It's just the same, but it's fucking beautiful. I was more so enamored by the actual burn lines. Now that's a real thing. The burn lines are real. That's a real.
You know what?
Okay. That's
okay.
Real.
Wait. Look. Check it out.
Real.
This is real. I can see the blue smoke when I blow the white smoke from my exhale.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine too.
When my exhale, the smoke comes out white, but through that I can see the blue now.
Correct.
It's very light. It's very faint, but it's coming. The blue smoke is coming from the actual cigar itself.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're getting pseudo-scientific. These are things that we're just observing in the eye
test. Are there any other colors though? Are there any other colors of smoke?
You know I'm fucking colorblind, bro. So you know what other colors I'm gonna tell you? Huh? I'm gonna tell you every color. You know why? Because I can't see shit, dog. I can't see shit.
Remember back in the days, the fucking smoke bombs? And they would come in mad colors?
The round one you talking about?
They look like they would blow up, but
I can't lie though, they smell kind of good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm one of those gunpowder kids. You know, I'm a gasoline sniffing kid, you know what I'm saying? But I can't lie. Smoke bombs smell good. Stink bombs stink. Because there were stink bomb versions of them that you lit up with the fuse.
Yeah.
Before
do you remember this? Do you remember the stink bombs that was the liquid in the glass?
Yeah,
container?
The plastic packs.
Oh,
yo, nasty business. And then they came up with the actual capsules.
I had a glass capsule one that I would break on the bus before I got off the bus.
Damn, you were one of those. Damn, mama. Yo, dog. On my way always ask myself why. Like, what's your motivation? Like, let me get to the bottom of this. I finally get to ask somebody this question I've been asking. Yo, what is your motivation, my man?
Sometimes you just want to see the world burn.
Fucking Joker over here. I knew it, bro.
Yeah,
There was no rhyme or reason. It's a stink bomb. And you watched it too. You would stand there on the sidewalk and
literally
watch
like
the window.
so. Like, let's just say my stop was American Linden. The stop before that, I would stomp it. So I would get kind of like look at everyone's faces, and I just got off the bus.
Oh
People like, yo,
my
what the?
God.
Because they would like permeate the entire bus.
Right away, within seconds. Within seconds. One whiff and it's a wrap. Holy shit, you were one of those.
I was definitely.
I remember dudes used to put that shit in other people's backpacks, and that shit was violation.
Yeah, I was never foul like that. No, I was foul, but that's a different type of foul. Like
you were making the old lady on the bus suffer foul.
There wasn't no old ladies. There was a whole bunch of people on the back of the bus. It was after school. Like, I don't know. Where'd you go to school? Civil rights? The fuck? No. This is the fucking Q5. This is a bunch of hood rat kids getting home from school. I don't know. Like, where you went to school, every day was the
hospital right on the block.
You let the old lady suffer? No, it wasn't that.
I'm going to ask you one last question about this, and I'll move on. Was it winter or summertime?
All the time. If I had them, then that's what I would do. I was such a little asshole. Like, I'm a refined, what you're seeing now is I'm refined, I'm chill, I don't do any of the crazy things.
My 11-year-old version of myself is judging the fuck out of you.
Yo, you should. Absolutely. I judge myself too. One time.
My 41-year-old version doesn't give a damn.
One time I was in a gym and I found these smelling salts. And you know, like how strong a smelling salt, it'll knock you out.
Yes.
I took it from the first aid kit and I was walking through the halls and I was walking up to my friends and people who wasn't even my friends. I was like, yo, yo, does this smell like CK1? And I would give it to them and they would be like, yo, what the fuck? And they would drop it and I would pick it up and I was just like going through the hall asking everybody to take a whiff of smelling salt.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Listen, you're gonna have to have this top for jet, bro.
I was also the kid putting dishwashing liquid in water fountains. So you would go to get a drink of water and just take a mouthful of Dawn. Pause. Like, it was just,
So wait, oh my God. So you used to put on the mouth of the actual water, you used to put liquid soap?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes. And last thing, you know those little firecrackers that like when you smoke them they explode? I would put those in my friends' cigarettes or their weed.
Oh no.
And when they would smoke, it would explode like a cartoon. I remember one of my childhood friends, Hayward, he was like, yo, why does shit like this always happen when you're around? And I was like, I don't know, man. It was a tobacco seed.
Oh no. I hope they're all watching
cigarettes.
I hope they're all watching this.
Yeah. Oh, they know. They know I've cooled out.
They know by now. Okay.
Yeah. I was definitely the guy that was like doing all kinds of pranks.
I mean, I was a prankster, but certain things were off limits. Smells, if you got hit by an egg, that's just Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if the people that I used to live with, whether it was like ex-girlfriends or roommates, if you left the bathroom door open, I would take a cup of cold water out of the refrigerator and just dump it over the shower like this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I understand it. I get it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. I get it. Okay. I can't judge you.
Yeah.
I can't judge you because
and these are the ones. The things that I'm telling you now are the PG versions of like the light stuff.
I get it. No,
there's stuff that people right now they might want to see me on site and be like, yo, I'm still mad about some of the things that I thought were funny that
maybe aren't so
wasn't. At 48, it's not funny. Like that shit is not. But at 16,
I think it's still funny. I think it's still funny because it lives in the time in itself.
It was a time, and I wouldn't tell a kid to do it.
I think it's funny, I don't want to. Don't get it fucked up. I think it's funny.
But like even as an uncle, like I tell my nieces the tallest stories you could possibly think of. Like I will tell them if they believe me. I'm like, you know the Statue of Liberty goes to sleep. She walks off of that and goes into the water. And my sister's like, yo, why are you telling them that? What are they going to do when they get to kindergarten and tell the kid? And I'm like, they're going to have a great story. She's like, no, stop telling them shit like that. And I'm like, no, I'm going to keep telling them until they go be like, that's bullshit. You
My
know,
man.
so
I love it.
now it's different. It shifts, you know, but like, yeah,
That's
that was
beautiful.
that guy.
That's beautiful.
We went on definitely a unhinged tangent about pranks in the midst of this cigar. You see where the cigar takes you? Good
Yeah.
times.
We're at the top of the top, and we're talking about some of the bottom of the bottoms.
But here's
But
the
you know
thing.
what? It's good.
Some
Still good.
cigars will have you talking about the cigars. And
Yes.
some cigars are so good that they pivot and you get to just have great conversations about anything else because like the cigar's already doing its job. You know, it's like we don't have
Oh,
to
man.
worry about
Talk
that.
shit. Talk that shit. Talk that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect, bro. Couldn't have put it any better. Couldn't have put it any better, bro. It's fucking beautiful.
I'll make a new clip.